Hey.
Well, we'll go ahead and kick it off, especially since it's during the day. People may have time constraints. My name is Amanda Towne, and I started this group a couple years ago for people to get together and have discussions about law of attraction, and mostly Abraham Hicks, but other teachers too. And I'm now located in Miami Beach. This was one of my manifestations. I followed the breadcrumbs and kept following what felt better. And a friend was having a retreat here in Miami Beach. A channeler, Gina and I both know, Viola. And I followed the inspiration. I was like, those retreats look like a lot of fun. I want to go. And so I came in August of 2021. That's actually where I met Gina, and things just unfolded from there. I didn't think I was leaving Charlotte, North Carolina, but everything unfolded. The inspiration, I always wanted to live at the beach. And so I ended up moving to Miami Beach, and that's where I am now. And my journey with Abraham started in 2017. And as I look back after that, like, and I was into other teachers before that, like Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer, but it really picked up speed after I found Abraham. Oh, sorry. Now I've got the waiting room going. So it really picked up speed with Abraham. And the next year in 2018, I left my corporate job, and I've just been building more and more freedom into my life, being able to work from anywhere when I want, freedom of emotions. And I've done different modalities along the way. Hypnosis was one of the first ones. I've been in Nick Brew's group. And then I did Gina's program last year, and then also Liz Hayes. And this Gina's program has been life-changing for me. Like, the vibration that I feel now is amazing, and the things that have developed in my life. And more than anything, it's just how I feel. I feel so different. And Gina will talk about this later too, but so many of us listen to Abraham and we get it up here, but we don't embody it. And they talk about vibration all the time, but yet it's like, what does that really mean? and now I get it. And because I feel my vibration rising and rising. And I used to think, when am I going to get there? When am I going to plateau? And I know I'm not. It's just going to keep getting better and better. There's no limit to how high you go and how good you can feel. So I'll hand it over to Gina and let her introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see some familiar faces on here and also some new faces as well. So yes, my name is Gina Mallison, and tell you a little bit about my background. I found Abraham Hicks in July or so of 2015, right at the right moment. I was at my rock bottom. I hit, leading up to that, I had built a pretty darn good life through positivity and massive determination. I was a huge follower of Tony Robbins, and climbed the corporate ladder, was married, had a business with my husband and a kid, a fantastic house, great cars, all this good stuff. But inside, because I didn't know about this work, and I was again using, I'm a naturally positive person, but really much into, this is an action journey. So I'm using positivity and kind of motivation for myself and others around me to keep getting more and more and more. But eventually, when you're using action as the method that you think is what's creating this massive life, eventually, like, there's a limit to how much action you can take. So eventually it was like, Abraham has described it before as like, you're like spinning those plates on the sticks, and I started having so many sticks. I was like, inside, I was starting to get really overwhelmed and stressed, and I got caught up in having my focus get a little off track. And there was a 2-year period where all of a sudden my my mood was going down, my stress was going up, the overwhelmment was going up, and my life just started crumbling around me. And by 38, I had lost my marriage, lost my business, lost my job, single mom of a 5-year-old girl, $60,000 plus in debt, no income, $6,000 a month in expenses, borrowing money from my parents to stay afloat. Like, what the heck? And my life was just crashing down. And I was like, literally, I could see like the end point of like, can't go on any further. And it was at that time that two things happened. One is, again, I was super into Tony Robbins. I went to a couple of his workshops, the Unleash the Power Within, where you walk on the hot coals. I went to his Date with Destiny workshop. It was actually the workshop that's on Netflix. You can see me in the audience on some of the clips. And in being on those workshops, I was able to witness the incredible work that Tony can do with somebody in a matter of 20 or 30 minutes. I remember in my first workshop, he took somebody that was suicidal, and within a half an hour, this guy was on stage in his full power, like basically at the top of the emotional scale. And I was thinking, how does he do that? I was familiar that he uses hypnosis. That's one of the reasons why we were able to walk on hot coals and not burn our feet. But there was something else he was doing, and it had caught my attention. And at the time when I got back from one of those workshops, I looked it up. Somebody told me he uses this thing called NLP, which stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. I looked it up after the workshop, and everything online, it looked really complex and complicated. And I was like, oh, feels hard to learn. Anyway, during that time that everything was crashing down, one thing led to another, and I found this person, and I had mentioned that I had this interest in learning NLP, but it looked really hard. And she goes, oh no, it's not hard at all. In fact, there's a guy coming to town. He's going to teach it. And you basically, when you come to this class, it's like you just soak it in. It's not hard to learn. And so I like literally scraped together any room I had left on my credit cards and this, that, and the other. And I took this course, and two things happened. So one, I didn't know Abraham Hicks at the time, but I was familiar with The Secret. I had watched that movie at least 6 or 7 times, and it always resonated with me. I could always easily look back and see times in my life where like I had insane magic happen by like feeling these good feelings and whatever. But even in watching that movie and feeling inspired and knowing that it's real, I didn't know like how real it was, like in every category of life, right? So, and how to actually practically apply it in every category, like those categories that are really balled up. Anyway, so like I mentioned, I ended up getting inspired and found the money to take this course. And by the second day of the course, we started with NLP. It was a course on NLP, hypnosis, and Reiki, 2-week long course. By that second day, as we're practicing these NLP techniques, I was like, holy shit, this is the secret to the secret. Like literally the secret to the secret. These techniques allow you to, at the time, like this course wasn't about law of attraction. It was about these methods, but I kind of knew a little bit of enough about it. I didn't have the language, but what I understand now is that these techniques help you release massive amount of resistance and move up the vibrational scale and connect with source and be able to look at these trouble spots in your life through the eyes of source, which allows you to release all the dumb stories and explanations of what's going on and really see what's going on. And so imagine I was like 2 weeks in this course, 12-hour days. By the end of that course, I was flying high. I had released a ton of resistance on different things. And then coming out of that course, knowing, okay, I want to like find out more about law of attraction now that I've got this tool. And that's when, in short order, I found Abraham Hicks. And for those of you that know Abraham Hicks, and as soon as you hear it, you're just like, oh yeah, this is the real deal. This is the real, you can tell the difference between that teaching of law of attraction and the other stuff that's like surfacey or yeah. And so I dove in. I started listening to Abraham Hicks 6 to 8 hours every day. I've got that lovely obsessive personality. When I find something that lights me up, I go all in like nobody's business. And so what I started being able to do is start to understand how to, again, these techniques in NLP are really powerful, but the way that NLP is instructed and used by 99.99999% of the people who know it is still outcome based. It's still feel better in order to do something or to get something rather than feel better to feel better. So what I was doing in those months and really years, and even still to this day, I'm still like expanding, evolving, and tweaking and perfecting in a way, but marrying the two, these processes as a foundation, the best ones of them, how can I modify the use of them and to marry them with really the principles of how law of attraction works and this universe works. And so over the last 7 years, I've created my own method. Really, the Mallison method really got kind of defined as its own particular method maybe 3 years ago, when like I don't no longer call it NLP at all, but it's like the key components that I use are from NLP but modified to really just marry so beautifully with the teachings of Abraham Hicks, to really have super incredible outcomes. So one thing, let me see what I want to do here. Without going into too much detail, I'm going to put a little link in the chat box. Oh, I love the little unicorn. That's awesome. So my life, as I mentioned, had crashed within 3 weeks of coming out of that course and just continuing to feel better and release resistance. Like literally everything changed. Like things just started pouring out of my vortex. Met the man of my dreams. Like literally all my bills were taken care of. Bought this amazing $1 million dream home, started traveling the world. If you click that link and take a look at that, not now so you can pay attention, but maybe after we're done, it doesn't make sense how much stuff and experiences I've been able to have in this last 7 years. You like action couldn't have that happen. Magic has that happen. Magic through just continually releasing resistance, purifying my vibration to match who I really am, which then allows the things that in my vortex that match who I really am to just continually flow into my existence. This work is not about like reaching this ending point where you're just happy, happy, happy all the time. You still have resistance, but you have these tools in order to help you when you get the resistance, allow yourself to release it. And it's like expand into the even higher version. And then you play around, you're feeling really good. Little resistance comes and you release that and it gets better and better and better. The resistance I feel now when I'm in contrast is nothing like what I used to feel before for a lot of different reasons. But it's again because of the continual use of these tools and playing with people and really more and more and more being able to have at my core a nice ability to always be able to snap in, even when I'm in contrast, to always know that at all times all is well. Everything's always working out for me and for everybody, and at all times all is well for everybody, even when they're screaming in contrast as well. And again, the it's just phenomenal. And so the purpose of today's call and yesterday's call is to share a bit about this method and vibration and how to release resistance and all that kind of stuff, and also give you an example of the method itself if you haven't seen it. A couple nights ago, Amanda put on her Facebook group a link to one of the calibrations. So if we have time, which I'm sure we will, we'll do a calibration today so you can see it live and in person. But I really love the example that Amanda put on the Facebook wall a couple nights ago of this calibration I did with Kristen. This was a couple of years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, in our vibrational mastery group at the time. She at the time was homeless, living out of her car and out of friends' bedrooms that she was able to finagle here and there. She had a job, but it didn't pay that well. And so she had a hard time finding a place to rent. And so the dominant emotion that she was feeling was homeless, but hopeless, homeless and hopeless. And so she had this vibration that then had these just continual all day thoughts of kind of desperation and panic and worry and feeling insecure. And so therefore her reality reflected that. Again, this work is, I bet most of you, or if not all of you, know it's like your outside world is a reflection of what's going on inside. And so that's what I love about this work is we're not trying to change the outside world, for sure not about action, but how can you identify these wobbles that you have and these feelings and these thoughts, go within, release resistance, and let some of that clear out, increase your vibration so that your world can start reconfiguring itself for you on behalf of you based on your internal vibration. And so what you'll see in this calibration, if you haven't watched it already, is we took that vibration. I had her close her eyes and go through this process and just release resistance, feel a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit more relief, a little bit more relief. And then you'll notice at some point she gets to feeling ease and appreciation. And then here comes another little wobble in the middle of the calibration of fear, kind of fear and panic, that as soon as this calibration is done, that old feeling will come back. So we soothe that, we soothe that, so we soothe that. And at the end of the calibration, again, massive ease, freedom, allowing, and then let her go. 2 weeks later, she comes back to the group to announce to everybody that, as like by magic, I just got chills. She had this moment of like pure realization and appreciation and feeling so secure, had this inspired thought to like go on Craigslist. And the first listing on Craigslist is this room to rent in a mansion that's within her budget, where she gets her own ensuite bathroom, a pool, like literally she be that what wasn't included in that initial calibration was a conversation leading up to that. And she was sharing how she's had this vision for a long time of living in this mansion where you walk in and there's views of the mountain. And like literally what she manifested was exactly what was in that dream that she kept having. Oh, somebody's off of mute. Do you mind? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Awesome. And so that was really beautiful. You'll get to see the pictures of what she manifested. And then what was really cool in the pre-talk, sometimes before I guide somebody through the calibration process, I find out like what are their thoughts, what are they thinking, and sometimes I sprinkle in like just to break open some of their constraints of like anything is possible, because what she was saying is I can't find my own room because of money makes it impossible. So I was like, you don't know, you could like find a lotto ticket on the ground and it's $1 million winner. The IRS might call you and say, hey, we overcharged you, here's $10,000. You just don't know. And there was one moment I said, somebody could ask you to house sit their house and it doesn't cost you anything. In fact, somebody could have you come and watch their house and they even pay you. Well, lo and behold, Kristen ended up interviewing me like a month or two ago on her podcast. And it turns out for the last 2 years, she's been staying in this luxury cabin in the California mountains. Not only for free, they're paying her an amazing salary to live in their luxury cabin, drive their Jeep, like for the past 2 years. So she got to quit the job she didn't like, get paid to live in like it's just phenomenal. And so again, the kind of the catch 22 here is you're not doing these processes in order to manifest something. You're doing these processes to release resistance and feel better. And kind of like one of my favorite sayings is, come what may, I know my vortex is full of stuff. I know my inner being knows what I want. I do not need to focus on those things. In fact, if I do that, and if I'm focused on creating the outcome, it's going to hold it at bay. So let's just feel better and kind of come what may, and then watch how it unfolds. But it is so satisfying to see those results. It's just that catch 22 of not making it about those results. Again, if you look at that About Gina page and you see everything that's landed there, like I'm not doing processes to try to manifest 6 Porsches, yet 6 Porsches have flown through my life. Like it's amazing because I just focus on feeling good. And when I'm not feeling good, I'm not pushing against it or panicking, but I'm being easy with myself and getting calibrations or calibrating others. Another really cool thing is if or when you learn to be a malabrator and you're calibrating people, Calibrating people is calibrating for you too. You get to practice being in that steady source energy vibration. And as you are working with a client, it's so funny and ironic sometimes that sometimes the things that they bring to the table are the same kind of hangups you have. So as you stay steady and you're just using this really easy process to help them release resistance, once they get to that place where they're connected with source and they're flowing their insights, those like help you release resistance. And then as you continue to work with them and they're seeing the results of this newfound vibration and these it's not like implanted thoughts or implanted beliefs. It's actually what's really, really true. Like, this is not about trying to get you to change this thought to this thought. This is about allowing your vibration to rise so that you're at the place where the true thought exists and you know it to the core of your being, and then you start seeing evidence of it. One of the things that I remember hearing Abraham say, and I think it was on one of the cruises, so I got to hear it live, is the whole idea of like, one of the things that's really yummy. So like when I'm calibrating somebody, they come and they're at one end of the stick. And I might mentally know what would be the emotion on the other end of the stick, but I'm never trying to guide somebody to feel a particular emotion. I'm just guiding them in a way that allows them to release resistance. They float up, and then I ask them, what do you notice you're feeling now? And 9 times out of 10, they're literally feeling the emotion that's on the opposite end of the stick on that topic. And one of my favorite feelings, again, I don't try to go for it, but when somebody says they're feeling that feeling of knowing in their body, like that to me is like jackpot. That knowing, no evidence, but you know when you know, and there's a feeling of that knowing. And so that's really delicious. I remember seeing an Abraham quote where it's like that sweet spot of knowing without having the physical manifested evidence to like prove why the knowing is true. That is a magical place. And what Abraham said in that on that cruise, another thing that can add to your knowing, so you have this non-physical knowing, and then as you travel along throughout your day, and then you start seeing evidence that backs up what you know, that adds to that knowing. Like you get actual evidence that just bolsters that knowing. And so as this is what's been so beneficial to me is as I work with clients, I mean, at some point I was having like 30 clients a week. So I would meet with people and then I'd meet with them the next week and like, tell me what's been going on. And so their evidence that they get to see bolsters my knowing. So not only do I get my knowing like doubled, tripled, quadrupled up from my own experience, but I'm just constantly hearing other people's experience of like, yep, I no longer felt this way. And this person showed up completely different. Or my boss gave me a raise out of the blue. It's not even normal that this would happen. I just got a raise 2 months ago. Why would I get a raise now? Well, it's because my vibration. And so just playing in this world of vibration and releasing resistance, it's just a really, really, really powerful thing. So, let me see where I want to go from here. So the Mallison method. In a moment, we're going to do a calibration. So if any of you want to receive a calibration, maybe like put a little note in the chat if you'll be open for it. Like Malar, you keep jumping out to me if you're up for doing it a group. You'll see with the Mallison method calibration, I'm going to have somebody come to me and tell me what their wobble is. Like, what's something going on in your life that's got you all twirled up? Like, what's a trigger? So it could either be something now that's going on and you're feeling wonky about, or sometimes ideally I like to say, maybe it's not bothering you now, but something happened like a week ago and it got you really triggered. You're not necessarily so triggered about it now. Maybe you are, but you're aware that this is a pattern. It's probably going to happen again next week or the week after that. And so what I like to do is have somebody come in the hot seat with me, close their eyes and think back to that triggering moment. And in a calibration, the very first thing I do is I have that person feel that icky, wobbly emotion really, really strong right away. Sometimes people that are familiar with Abraham Hicks are a little bit like, I don't want to activate that wobble. Like it's going to build momentum. However, like, so when you're outside of a session, absolutely don't think about that and feel that feeling. But when you're in a session in a container with an intention to release resistance on that and a tool that works, you want to activate it because you want to move it. You want to release, activate it, release resistance of it, and allow that energy to move. And so that's what you'll get to see. So I'm going to have the person, let's identify the person first and then I'll walk through it. So I see Anna with your hand raised. Have you ever had a calibration? Yeah. Have you come off mute?
No, no, never, never. This is the first time here with you. I mean, I've followed you for some time, but I never had a
Oh, you have?
Mallison,
Never
Gina
had it.
Mallison calibration. No.
Okay, wonderful. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So are you up for doing it in a group setting?
Yeah, sure.
Comfortable with that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So where I want to start. So one thing that's you'll watch me do with Anna is in a second, I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit about what the wobble is. Do you know what you want to get calibrated on?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Okay. So I'm going to ask her to give me like a little bit of detail about it. Not a lot, because we don't want to activate the story, but I want enough information about the story in order to, when I get her calibrated, to guide her attention back to it, to see what she sees about that story now. In fact, I can do a calibration without the story completely. I can just say, what's the icky feeling? And we go from there. But the benefit about me knowing a little bit about the story is that once we get to this nice place, I love to be able to have the person look at that thing again and tell me what insights are there and what you feel about it now. Um, so, so I'm going to ask you a little bit, but I might cut you off. So just FYI, and not being rude, but I might cut you off and I might ask a little bit more detail about it. So, what's the topic about?
The topic is channeling and worthiness. Well, the short story is that I've had this desire to channel and to be able to calibrate in a way that, I can channel source energy and um, help other people the way that other people have helped me, connect to source and all that. And it's been, I think, the biggest desire of mine for a couple of years now. And I realized a couple of days ago in a very strong way that I actually really don't feel worthy and special to do that.
Mhm.
That I feel like
Perfect, 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 perfect. What do you notice is the emotion you're feeling right now, or just about it in general?
it's lack of worthiness. Like I feel unspecial, sort of. I
Okay.
feel little, like I feel little, like I feel like you have to be this, I don't know, something, I don't know, some
Yeah,
picture in my mind that I created, how special you have to be, and I don't feel that. I
perfect,
feel the opposite of that.
perfect. I'm actually going to have you close your eyes right now. Good. And your eyes are going to stay closed this whole time until I invite you to open it at the end, okay? Closing your eyes is going to help you focus. This work is about focusing. So as you focus and you think about this topic, I really, really, really want to channel. I want to help people. I want you to allow yourself to feel the icky emotion that's there with it and feel it as big as you can. And let me know when you've got it nice and big.
I've got it already.
Good. Yeah. And where do you notice you feel this feeling most dominantly in your body?
I like here.
In your throat. Good.
Like I feel like I have like a little stone inside here, like something's blocking my throat.
Perfect, perfect. So put all of your attention on the sensation in your throat. You're no longer even on the story. Put all your attention on the sensation in your throat and tell me, does it feel more heavy, light, or medium?
I think heavy.
Good, good. Just notice that. All your attention on that sensation in your throat. It feels a little more heavy. And do you notice if it's moving at all, or does it feel more completely still?
It's moving
It's
like
moving.
up and
Perfect.
down, like between this hole here and the
Perfect.
middle of my throat. Yeah.
Really good. Just notice that all your attention is on this. It's kind of heavy and it's moving up and down. And what does it feel like it's made out of? Is it made out of like a stone? Now that you're paying attention to it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a stone.
like a stone. Does this stone, does it feel like it's a smooth stone or more like rugged or jagged?
Smooth.
It's smooth. Oh, good. And what color do you notice that the stone is? As you allow yourself to focus on it, what color does it seem to be?
Gray, completely
Gray.
gray.
Gray. Is there a shape to it? Is it like oval or circular or
It's
random?
it's it's oval. It reminds me of the moon, actually.
Oh, yeah, good. Put all your attention on this. So it's gray and it's smooth and it's moving up and down. Okay, good. So if I said, if you notice, if you imagine it moving up and down faster or more, I want you to imagine that and tell me if it moves up and down faster or more, does that feel worse, better, or the same?
I think better.
It feels better. Oh, good. Go ahead and allow it to move faster, and you get to choose how fast it moves based on what feels best. And you let me know once it feels just right for the speed.
It feels good.
Good. How fast is it going? Use your finger to show me.
Very fast, like this.
There you go. Good. Very nice. And does it like the distance it's traveling, or would it like to travel up and down further or less?
Yeah, even before you asked the question, it started going up, further up.
Yeah, good. Let me know when you've got the distance. Perfect. Yeah. Very
Mhm.
good. So that feels a little better too. Yeah.
Yeah,
What color does that stone want to be? Does it like being gray? Or if it could choose to be any color in the world, what would it choose to be?
pink.
Pink, of course. Good. All right, give it permission. Let it be pink. Let me know when it's the perfect shade of pink.
Yeah, it's good. It's like crows and quartz.
Oh, I love it. Good. Notice how that feels. And does it want to be made out of rose quartz, or what's the material it wants to be now that it's this perfect pink?
Well, now all I see is rose quartz.
Yes, good. Notice how that feels. Is there anything else it wants to do that would feel even better? It can change shape. It can change shape to like a heart or a star or a sphere, or it can stay oval.
It stays oval.
Oval, good. Is there anything else it wants to do? Does it want to get bigger or smaller, or again go faster or slower now that it's this color?
Um, it moves around my body or like all over my body, like it doesn't have any particular route. It just moves around and feels lighter.
Good. Give it that full permission and allow yourself to experience how that feels as it just moves around your body. There's no pattern to it. Yeah. Allow your body to relax and you just get to experience that. Allow yourself to breathe. You're doing so good breathing. Hmm.
Yeah, it
Does-
feels good.
What do you notice as any emotion you're feeling as this rose quartz is just moving around your body so freely?
Right now I just feel peaceful, like
Yeah.
just very light,
Yeah.
uh,
Good.
like very, very light.
Very light. Just continue to breathe and just relax into that light, peaceful feeling. I love how you're just kind of moving your head. Yeah. Where do you notice that feeling of peaceful shows up in your body? Is it a whole body sensation or where is it?
It's mostly here, like around my chest
Yeah.
and yeah, around there.
Yeah. Good. You're just seeing stone move around, feeling this peaceful feeling in your chest. That peaceful feeling in your chest, would you describe that as heavy, light, or medium?
Um,
Mm.
Medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, medium. It's like it feels light, but when I say medium, it doesn't feel heavy. It's medium enough so I can feel it.
Yes,
If it
it's
was like,
present. It's
y-
it's present, yeah.
yeah,
And that peaceful feeling there in your chest, is there movement to it at all, or is it completely still?
Yeah, it's moving.
How's it
It's
move?
it's it's moving just as my head is moving. Like,
Yes, yeah. And what does it feel like that peaceful feeling is made out of? Is it like energy or liquid or air?
uh, maybe liquid. How
Hmm.
weird is that?
No, not weird at all. I like that. Allow yourself to notice that.
Yeah, I can actually feel like when you move your hands in water, the way the water feels between your fingers.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Oh,
feels like that.
yeah. Is there a color to that liquid that's moving like that?
But like light blue.
Yeah. Notice how that feels. See and feel that peaceful light blue water just moving. Yeah. You allowed yourself to relax into that peaceful feeling there even more. What do you notice happens with that water? Does it spread or move slower? What does it do?
Yeah, I can actually, yeah, it spreads. It's like all around my body. Like I can feel it and see it even around my legs and
Yeah.
my arms. It's like I am inside it.
Yes. Is there a temperature to that liquid or is it just neutral?
And there is. It's more to the side of like cold. Not cold, just like present
Right.
little refreshing.
Refreshing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more to the colder side than the warm side.
Good. Do you like that temperature? Do you want it to be
Yeah,
cooler or warm? You like that?
it's
Good.
perfect.
Yeah. Just allow that liquid to become just right, just the right amount, just the right amount of movement. Let me know when you got it just right.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Is there anything that water wants you to know? Just curious. There might not be anything, but is it kind of communicating anything to you?
And just relax in it and and just let it be. Like
Oh,
just trust it that it carries you
yeah.
and there's nothing that I need to do.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. What does that feel like to you when you hear the water tell you that? Just relax into me. Let me handle you.
It feels so liberating.
Yeah. Can
Yeah,
you?
I feel like shackles can come off and
Oh,
I'm just floating.
yeah. Can you allow yourself to just imagine that now? Just use your imagination to see and feel those shackles come off. Maybe just lean back in that water that just is carrying you. Just
Yeah.
relax into it. Let me know when
Mm.
you feel perfectly relaxed into that water. Take your time, there's no rush.
Mm.
Mm,
Feels good.
Doesn't it feel good? Yeah. What is that water saying to you now?
It's funny now. I see the water turn to fire somehow all of a
Oh,
sudden.
yeah.
Uh,
What is
it
what is the emotion of that when you saw that happen?
it's like I know it feels really good. The first emotion, I mean the thing that I felt is like charged up from
Yeah.
relaxed, like really charged up.
Yes. Like energized.
Yeah, energized. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Exactly
Good.
that.
Notice that. Yeah. What would you say is the most dominant emotion you feel now that it's that fire around you?
It's like between the two, I feel that the feeling is kind of like in order to get to the fire, I need to be able to get to the water.
Yes. Yes. You want to relax, which then
Yeah.
plugs you in and then gets that energy. Yeah. Yeah. How's that feel to have that clarity?
Amazing.
Doesn't it feel amazing? You can let those tears come out and the laughter. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's that simple. Just relax into the water. So beautiful. Oh,
Oh my God.
it's pretty funny, isn't it? Ah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah. Anything else you're hearing from the fire or from yourself or from source right now?
Yeah, just I can get here again. This is not one and only time I can come to this place. I just need to remember it, just to
Yeah.
remember to relax and to feel
Yeah.
that energy.
Just to remember to relax. Not even about
Yeah,
trying to remember this feeling. It's just like, oh, to get here, I just relax. I can
yeah,
relax. I can even close my eyes and just imagine myself in a hammock and I can relax. I'm good at
yeah.
relaxing. Yeah. Is there any lingering resistance or wobbles about this topic right now? There's no problem if there is. I'm just curious.
I'm not sure, but for some reason I saw a picture like of two, I don't know what you call them, like when you have a chain and the two pieces like linked together like this.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's what I saw. And I'm not sure. It feels like there is a little bit of
Sure,
something.
sure. Awesome. Are you seeing that now? Can you bring that image to your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is
Like
this image of these links, is it like out in front of you or is it somewhere in your body?
it's in front of me. It's like in front of my eyes, like some kind of attachment to something.
Sure,
Like
sure.
that's
Beautiful. Do you notice any particular emotion that you're having as you see these links?
uh, uh, as if the opposite of being relaxed, like some
Okay.
kind
Yeah.
of tension.
Yeah, like you said, like an attachment. Good.
Yeah.
So these two links, are they made of metal?
Yeah.
Are they silver or what color are they?
Silver.
Good. Good. With your eyes closed, seeing these two links connected, can you imagine asking these two links? Imagine asking them, what emotion are they feeling? See if they'll tell you. They might not, but they might tell you what the emotion is that they're feeling. See if they'll tell you.
It's funny, they become I see their eyes and they're angry.
They're
They have
angry.
like their eyebrows like this, like
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. Good. Good.
yeah.
Do they enjoy feeling this angry feeling?
No, no.
No. Yeah. If you were to ask them, what would they want to do if they could and there'd be no consequences? What do they really want? What do they want to feel or what do they want to do if they really got to have their way and there was nothing in their way? What would they want to do? See if they'll tell you.
Well, it's funny because I can feel my mind intervening because the first thing that came is as if they're telling me they really want to get angry.
Yes, yes, they do. I know it seems so backwards. They want to be more angry. Guess what? They get to be more angry. Give them permission. Are you okay with giving them permission to get as angry as they want? Give
Yeah.
them permission. They have full permission from no holds bar. They literally get to unleash their anger and watch what they do and just you let me know once they're satisfied with how much they were able to rage their anger. They get to take their time and enjoy it. They can destroy things if they want. They can zap things or people. There you go. Yeah. Yes. let them keep going. They get to unleash. They get to go until they're satisfied. Really good.
Enough.
Okay. Are they satisfied? Like they can take a break, or you can take a break. Whatever feels good.
I think I need to take a break.
Yeah, take a break. Let it all settle down. Letting them kind of settle down. Really good. Yeah.
That's good.
Good. What are they looking like right now?
Exhausted.
They're looking exhausted. Are they still linked together?
No.
What do they look like?
They're just like they're like these little creatures. These fun little creatures. I can't even describe them. And they're like looking at the floor, just with eyes closed, just like trying
Good.
to regain energy, like depleted.
Good. So now I want you to give them permission to fully rest. They just exerted a lot of energy. They're exhausted. Give them permission to fully, like, surrender into the exhaustion. They want to crawl into a bed or have a blanket or a pillow. Give them permission to fully surrender into that exhaustion. And let me know. They get to take their time. Let me know once they're fully rested. In the most comfortable way.
It's good.
Good. What do they look like now then that they got to just fully rest?
Yeah, they're both lying on like feather pillows, like silken feather pillows, like in a fetus position, like curled in the blanket.
Yes. What do they begin to feel now that they're just cuddled up with down pillows and comforters and fetal position? What's the emotion they're feeling right now?
Peace and serenity,
Yeah. They like
light,
that, don't
lightness.
they? Lightness,
Yeah.
peace. Mhm. Good. Allow them to just enjoy that. Allow them to just bask in the peace and the serenity. There's nothing they need to do. They just get to cuddle up, sleep as long as they want, or just bask in the comfort. Let me know once they're fully satisfied with how much rest and peace they have.
Yeah, they're knocked out.
They're knocked out. Good, good. What do you notice is any emotion you're feeling?
I'm feeling kind of like, like when you look at a little child,
Yeah,
like a lot of like
love.
compassion and love.
Yeah, like, oh, you sweeties.
Yeah.
You want to kiss them on their foreheads. Night, night, little sweeties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. Like I'm watching over them. That's how it feels like. They
yeah,
can chill.
yeah. You can chill. And where do you notice that feeling of like love is in
Oh,
your
here.
in your chest? That feeling of love in your chest, would you describe that as heavy, light, or medium?
Again, it feels big but
Mm-hmm.
light.
Big but light. What's it
Mhm.
made out of? It's like an energy or something else?
Yeah, energy is like something ethereal.
Yeah. Is there a color to that beautiful energy of love?
Green.
Yes. Good. Allow yourself with your eyes closed to see and feel that lovely green energy in your chest. Is there movement to it or is it still?
It's still.
It's still. Good. What does that green energy want to do? Is it perfectly satisfied with how it is, or does it want to become more, or move, or change color?
Nah, it's still, and it does sort of move, like it's like pulsation, sort of like, the way that the heart bumps, it just does like this. But it feels very still and very solid, like
Mhm.
it's just what it is. It's like,
Yeah, it's just what it is. It's just there.
it's just there. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
It's like,
there.
yeah.
And it's already the perfect size and the perfect density. Good.
And it feels sort of safe because it's so solid and stable.
Yeah, it's just there. It's like
Yeah.
it's actually like a permanent fixture that you're now aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, as you're feeling this feeling of love, what new thoughts or awarenesses do you have about this desire to be that open channel for people?
It's I'm completely now in that green love space
Yes,
now,
yes,
and, and it almost feels like I cannot feel anything else but that.
yes, yes. Notice that those other thoughts or whatever kind of irrelevant, you're just in the
Yeah,
pure love space, not trying to do anything, just being in this pure love
yeah.
space. Yeah, beautiful. Any other emotions you're noticing you're feeling in addition to this pure love?
I, uh, I don't know how to articulate it. uh,
Feel good?
yeah, I can't feel really, like right now. I can't really feel different emotions. Like it seems,
It's just love?
yeah, it's just this thing that is, that you can't put a label and there is nothing opposite to it. And
Yes. Oh, so good. Can you almost imagine being aware of this feeling, being so connected? Imagine going through the rest of your day being aware of this. You can almost, with your eyes closed, just almost see yourself moving through your day, feeling this feeling. Notice things like what's enhanced about your posture and breathing as you're just in this pure love space, just being pure love. Notice the pace, how you move. You might even almost see like a glow around you in your imagination. Yeah.
mhm.
Anything in particular that you're noticing as you imagine yourself moving through your day with this energy?
uh, this is really strange, but I feel bigger in my, like, bigger in the physical sense, that I actually
Yeah.
feel somehow big compared to the table or the chair or the bed. It's just
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. This is kind of cool though.
uh,
Good. Any ahas or clarity coming to you about this topic, or is it again just being in this pure love space? Mm.
uh, well, the clarity is that I am this at this moment, what I'm feeling, that's the real me, and everything else I just made up.
Yes. Yeah.
And that those made up stuff served me at some point,
Brilliant.
and I can let it go now, because now there's no point to them anymore, and they serve their purpose, and so I can release all of that. And
Yeah. And release them in a way with appreciation because they did serve a purpose. You're not pushing them
yeah,
away. You're just saying, thank you so much. And now you can go evolve somewhere else. And I'm just going to be this.
yeah, that's actually the predominant feeling, is that the fact that I'm not chasing them away. I can feel how they serve the purpose. I don't know intellectually how, but I can feel that they did, and they were there for a reason. And
Yes.
that's very clear.
Yes.
That feeling that I did not invent them to harm myself in any way, but the opposite.
Yes. Oh, that's so gorgeous. I'm getting covered in chills. Beautiful. Anything else you want to share with us?
Just chill, just be like water, as Bruce Lee said.
Yes. You like water and chill and float.
Yeah, and everything becomes clearer, and it takes you where you
Yeah.
need to be.
Beautiful. Making me cry.
And yeah, and there is no wrong moment. Every moment is the right moment, wherever it takes you, and no matter what it looks like, it's the right moment for that moment. Like, even if you can't intellectually understand why, you don't need to dig around it. Just know that
Yes.
it's like a spot. It's like, like when a boat makes like little stops on different ports, it's a port that is taking you to the next one and the next one and the next one, and you don't always have to get it why.
Yes. Just enjoy the journey from port to port to port. Yeah, that's brilliant. Just allow yourself to continue to breathe and relax. And just whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Your choice when. Yeah. Thank you for that.
No, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. This was brilliant.
Yeah, you're brilliant. That was brilliant. Beautiful flow there. Beautiful flow.
I have no words. I honestly have no words.
Yeah.
Thank
Mm,
you.
you're incredible.
Sorry for the cry fest.
No, no, no. I'm actually just about to talk about that. That is beautiful. Crying is a release of resistance. It's one of the most beautiful things in the world. And it's interesting. One of the things I want to talk about is that point where she got to anger. There might have been like, what the fuck? She's like wanting her to go ahead and allow them to unleash the anger. Yes, like you've probably heard Abraham Hicks say this before that, you know, if somebody is feeling like hopeless or below on the vibrational scale of anger, they would actually guide somebody to anger, but not to stay there, but to move through it. And if you get to anger and you repress it, then you just keep it's the Tony Robbins calls it the crazy eight. You can, and Abraham talks about this too. Somebody who's down here, they go to anger, and because anger is really uncomfortable for other people, and then it's uncomfortable for you, they'll back down from it and not allow there's a lot of energy in anger. Like those things wanted to fucking rage. I don't know what they were doing, but they might have been slashing people and double fingering and kicking people in the groin. Who knows? But in a container like this, in your imagination, where you allow that to be expressed, eventually what happens is it gets on the other side of that. They either get to a point of feeling satisfaction with how much they got to express and then go on to emotion after that, or they express so much they get exhausted and then you let them surrender into the exhaustion and then they got to peace. So on the other side of the anger was peace and calm and comfort, which is way up the scale from anger. But if it was like, oh no, they can't feel anger, back up from that, it would have gone down and never gotten to go through that. So, as uncomfortable as that sometimes is for people to watch this happen, it's a good thing to see that's not something you want to push against. You're not pushing against any emotion. You're allowing the emotion. It's the art of allowing, to allow the movement. We want to move energy rather than continue to be stuck in this crazy eight loop, or stuck in anger and repression and anger and repression. Allow it, and then you get on the other side of it, and then it opens her up even more to basically being an open channel. Because when you're just in these pure positive feelings, feeling that feeling of love. Notice when I asked her at the end, I said before we started this, oftentimes I like to, when somebody gets that yummy place, I have them look back on the topic for that new perspective. When I brought up that topic or that question or that desire, she's like, it's not, I don't even want to look at that. I'm just in this pure love place. That's the thing about, like, if somebody's saying like, I want to channel, I have a strong desire to channel. In that moment, they're like, I want this, I want this, I want this. They're in the not having it, when actually she is a channel, right? And so when she's in that channeled space, there's not even that question doesn't resonate. She is being that now. And then she flowed this beautiful thing. So really, really stunning. Thank you for being a gorgeous example. You
Oh,
never
thank you.
know. That's the great thing, is you never know where these are going to go. And that's that whole thing of kind of like what she said, port to port to port. We're not trying to guide her to a particular port. We're following the energy and not being scared of any point that she lands on, allowing that to be, so then it can move to the next port and move to the next port. Like when she got to the port of anger, it wasn't like, oh no, no, turn around and go back a port. No, 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 let's be here, let's be with it, and then move through to the next port. Move downstream, be like water, allow that to move, and allow yourself to experience literally the release of trying to control and manage. And notice that as you release, let go of those oars and float down with the water, it just gets a little better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And it's like, oh, jackpot, baby. Really good.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you for the opportunity. I really didn't, I had no idea what to expect, and I couldn't, I really didn't expect this.
So cool.
It was really brilliant, especially like I mean, I was surprised by the entire thing, because I mean, I wish you could be in my mind and see the pictures that I was seeing. It's, I don't know where they came from, and the anger part was actually as if I was really living that. Like it was
Yes.
so overwhelming at some point that I couldn't even physically
Yes.
handle it anymore.
Yes.
And it's funny because like those two little chain pieces converted into these like creatures that are made of like those little flames of fire. They were like little flames of fire, and then when they got angry, they just started growing and growing and growing and spitting more fire. And at one
Yes.
point I thought, I'm gonna burn in this. I
Yes.
couldn't burn
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
But after that, just oh.
Yeah. So brilliant. Reminds me of years ago, I worked with a gal who was suffering from intense panic attacks. She would have 5 to 6 panic attacks every day, and they were so severe, she developed agoraphobia, which is the fear of leaving your home, because she was afraid she was going to have one of these panic attacks out in public. She wouldn't drive. She was afraid, whatever. She would call 911 multiple times a month and be taken to the ER just to be told there's nothing wrong with her. And in working with her, I remember one of the turning points for her was to allow herself to feel the panic, and it became like this big balloon, and I guided her in a safe container to allow that balloon to get really, really big. And she was essentially having a panic attack in the session, like, you start to not breathe, but it was guiding her to just get it big. And eventually it got so big she just started laughing. It was ridiculous. It, like, she saw the illusion of it, because it's nothing real. It's the mind making up and reacting to it and resisting it. It's her fear of having a panic attack made the panic attacks more. Trying to stop herself from having a panic attack would bring on a panic attack. So this session was like, bring it on. Bring it on, Pat. Is that all you got? Make it bigger, make it bigger. And it's like, oh, it's an illusion. Poof, literally gone. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. But again, I wouldn't recommend doing this work unless you have a guide or you're really experienced in guiding yourself, because it's a guide who's holding steady. No, like I knew all is well this whole time, even though she was essentially almost having a panic attack with that heavy breathing. I could hold the steady of all is well and be there to guide her in whatever direction would feel a little bit better, which at that point was just to let it calm down. So really phenomenal. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this method and what you saw today? I'm just curious. It's okay if you don't, but just want to open it up in case you do.
I wanted to just point out like how she went from crying to laughing. And it's just allowing the emotions and ending up like you could see and feel her going up the vibrational scale, and how at the end, she ended up here and was in that receiving mode.
Yeah. And the other thing I like, and we'll go to Andy and then Sharon, is like, and so I mentioned this earlier too, like occasionally as I'm guiding somebody through a calibration and they get to this lovely place, if you remember halfway through, she got to this really lovely place and I gave her an opportunity to check for any lingering resistance. I like doing that because sometimes as much as somebody's feeling good, there might still be something there, but maybe they won't want to bring it up to me because they don't want to like ruin the moment. But I'm like, if there's some more resistance, let's look at it and allow that to move too. So this was super brilliant. Andy, you first and then Sharon.
um I just find it very interesting that I'm here today.
Yes.
And you were talking about the panic attacks creating more
Panic.
reasons for that.
Mhm.
I am amazed with myself the last 5-6 days. I'm doing a lot of I did that because like I got pretty angry on Saturday, and then since then I've created like so many more things to be angry about.
Yes.
Like for instance, my AC stopped working last night,
Like fuck that shit.
and like yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. But like I'm super interested in this for a lot of reasons now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's so interesting, like, because there is like that again, the Abraham Hicks teaching, like if you're feeling a negative motion, like it continues to go, you will start seeing evidence, like you said, got angry and now more things to get angry about for sure. And again, that's why a calibration can be so good because it moves you past that. And like for instance, if we were doing a calibration on the anger you felt about the AC, like in a container of a calibration, you would be able to move past the anger, allow it to express and move through it, and then get to a place of whatever is the other end of the stick for you, and then look at the air conditioner thing through the eyes of source, and then it like resolves that anger, and like it doesn't have more angry stuff happening, if that makes sense. So yeah, super fascinating, isn't it? But yeah, so do you feel complete, Andy?
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
Awesome. Sharon, good to see you.
Wow. Wow. That was Anna. That was, you just went along with it. I think you said that this was your first time.
Yeah.
So really, wow, it was, and seeing you cry, and that was fabulous, because I know for me that exactly what Gina said, it releases resistance, and wow, what a great, because I was brought up, don't cry, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Stuff it down.
And yeah, or yeah, I won't even say, yeah, say the other thing, but Gina, I've gotten calibrations from you and from Amanda, and I've done some self calibrate. It's not the same, but this is just such a reminder of how powerful it is. And yeah, and I did a calibrate, I said in the chat that I would like one, but I did it along, and I
Yes.
definitely feel relief about the subject, and it's okay. And I just got so, really beautiful images. I
Yes.
end with turquoise sparkle and
Yes.
being a a beach, in like the Bahamas, with the blue water. And so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want
Yeah,
to
I'm glad you brought that up because so getting calibrated with a guide is like the bee's knees, like da 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 da. But there's two other things, like what Sharon expressed is like you can also try to self-calibrate. It can be more difficult, especially if you haven't received calibrations before. But kind of the middle ground is being present or watching a replay of somebody being calibrated. That can be easier because it's not that you're following along in their calibration, but you're following along as I'm asking the questions. Where is it in your body? And you're answering for yourself. So you're not having the same experience. Like you might feel it in your knee and they're feeling it in their chest. So you answer the questions for yourself. And that can be a lot easier than trying to self-calibrate. Even I have a difficult time self-calibrating because you get lost in the things. Having somebody hold your point of focus and hold the steady and ask the questions allow you to like really let go and just follow along through the ports. Yeah. Really, really good. Thank you, Sharon. Jerry.
Yeah.
I should have unmute. First, I just want to say thank you. This has been an incredible moment. I didn't really know what the word calibrating meant, on a spiritual level. But Anna, what I just found so interesting is I've always been one that sometimes I'm busy feeling what I'm feeling,
Yeah.
but I can't articulate it. I
Mhm.
just know I'm in that moment of anger or pleasure or happy, and I just move through it and, okay, I've got to get through this thing or whatever the task is for work. And Anna, you were so expressive, and I just love the way, Gina, you guided her
Thank you.
in expressing how she was feeling. And it's just wonderful. When the tears came, they came.
Yeah.
And just a little bit about myself, I spent the last 35 years in construction, managing major construction and being the only everything.
Yeah.
And I was told when I first got into the business by this one wonderful mentor and supervisor, he said, I'll let you work on my construction site, but before you cry, you die.
Oh,
And that locked me up
yeah.
for most of my career.
Yeah.
And even though I've been on this spiritual journey, it's just wonderful to be sharing a space with someone that can speak to, well, how are you feeling now? Well, give me a minute, give me a minute. And then it comes because someone's allowing me to express it now after all these years. So this has been wonderful, just being a part of this platform. And, I'm glad I was witnessing Anna's journey. And I just thank you for, being brave enough to share it.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's all I wanted to just say. Gina, this was a moment, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you. Wonderful. Anybody else? So the one of the reasons why Amanda and I planned these calls is because I'm starting a new round of the training program to teach anybody who's interested how to become a Malabrator. Um, or if somebody's like, I'm not that interested in being a coach, but I want to learn this for myself or for friends and family, or I just want to swim in this energy and learn more about it or get calibrations and release resistance. This program is like a smorgasbord of opportunity. And Amanda and one of my other top Malibrators, Sheila, are partnering up with me so that we can have up to 30 people in this program in a high touch way. And so in this program, each participant gets private one-on-one calibrations with both Amanda and Sheila that both bring their own gifts. They're very, very well versed in other modalities that blend really well with Mallison method. They're beautiful. And then in this program, you get me up to 5 days a week it's a 4-month program. It's like I describe a smorgasbord or a buffet. Like there's nothing in the world that delights me more than having these kind of interactions. It's like source energy gets to flow through me and it's my lifeblood. So in this program, I make myself available a ton and the participants get to come as they wish. There's no requirements. You're not required to come every day, but if you want a little plug in or have questions or maybe get in the hot seat with me for the calibration, or learn the method, all that kind of stuff, I make myself wildly available. And then you have privates with Sheila and Amanda. And at the end of it, if you decide that you want to become a coach, there's also guidance on how to make a business out of it, kind of thing, if that's a desire for you. So if you're interested in that, Amanda, could you put the link to the waitlist page on the, also, I think, did I put that about me in the chat? If you missed it, let's do everyone. That's the website that has the, so that link I just sent there shows the about of like, one of my favorite things is to be a real life example of what's freaking possible when you just fully dive into the world of vibration and purify your vibration. It doesn't make sense, again, how much has happened in my life in the last 7 years, and it continues to compound and become more every year. Like, one thing is, like, as you can probably tell, and I've kind of said it, I'm obsessed with this work. I've made this work and my vibration, like, and because I play with so many people every day, and that increases my vibration. I'm not saying that everybody can have this kind of stuff happen to them, but if like, you're all in and you just, this is possible, and everything in the whole spectrum. But on that page, if you click to like the home page, that's where you'll see the Mallison Method training program. There's a wait list. There's room for 30 people. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be sending out emails to people on the wait list, where we're going to have even more open calls like this. So even if you're not even interested in the program, but you just want to be on some of these free calls some more, join that wait list and you'll get notified when we schedule those. The training program starts August 14th. And so leading up to then, we're just going to like broadcast out there to as many people as possible what's available. And so if it lights up for somebody, they have an opportunity to join us on this next round. So excited.
Yeah. And Gina, I wanted to add, I've been part of other training groups too. And Gina's program is like none other. She really does make herself available and pours herself into this. It's all live calls. You have access to tons of recordings because she's done other trainings, but the training is all done live, and you're getting Gina's energy that's so contagious. And like being in her program, it's like Gina on crack. Like it's just, the vibe is so high. And I can't say enough about the community either. I joined the training group last year because I observed the people in it having so much fun, and I was interacting with some of them in different ways, and I saw how much fun they were having. And I said, sign me up. I want to have that kind of fun, because I've done other programs that, they kind of clear out old stuff, but didn't get me like to where I wanted. I was like, I want to be up there, that happy joy feeling. And so it's been phenomenal. And I've seen my life change and the relationships that it's created, like with Gina and with Sheila. So we've been done with training, since December, and Sheila and I still trade calibrations with each other.
Yeah, can I just say that's the other cool thing is you get in this program and you mix it up with these amazing people and you start trading calibrations on each other. So not only are you getting calibrations from already pros, Sheila and Amanda, but then you're also getting additional calibrations from others and perfecting your skills. And then once the training program is done in December, you essentially, if you've buddied up with some people you have free coaching for life. Like Sheila and Amanda, they both lit up to me. Like at first it was Amanda, I'm going to bring her into this program. And literally it was a few days ago, like literally 3 days ago, Sheila had been kind of bumping around, and all of a sudden she lit up bright white, super clear. And I'm like, I'm pulling her in too. And then I find out they've been calibration buddies ever since. Every single week is when they can meet up, they do it. And like, it's a perfect example of like, so when the training program ends, like you have resources for life. Anyway, back to you, Amanda.
Yeah. And it's the community. Oh, and it's also being in this kind of community with everyone that's like raising their vibration and releasing resistance. You're all lifting each other up, and we have these check-ins too. what great things are happening for you. And every time that happens, it's like, oh, that person leapfrogged, and then the next and the next and the next. And you're lifting each other up. And so it's just amplified, even being in this group. Doing one-on-one coaching sessions with someone is great, but then add the group on top of that and Gina's training. It's just, it's
Like
phenomenal.
nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my dream come true. It's my dream come true. I remember, so back in 2019, so it's 2015, I found Abraham Hicks, and in middle of 2019, serendipity prevailed. And if some of you might already be familiar with a woman named Ramona Gailey, she made a post on the Abraham Fund group saying, hey guys, after the Asheville workshop, I just started channeling, and I'm going to make it a professional thing. But for the rest of this month, I want to give away free sessions so I can practice first 10 people. And I was like, sign me up. And I'll tell you, I was a little skeptical going in, like I'd never met with the channel before. Like Abraham was like, ooh, and I'm like, who's this lady think she is? But also hopeful, like maybe like whatever. And so I had this free session and I was blown away. And then immediately like just continued. I've had over 120 sessions with her now since 2019. And along the way, like there's something magical between Oprah and me. Like Oprah really gets me. Like there's something about it. And over a year prior to me doing this training program, and even before I really was able to define that this was my own method outside of NLP, I would always say it's like NLP, but it's not. But I didn't like even see that. But she said, your inner being is showing us so clearly that you are training people in this method. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't want to train anybody. That sounds scary. Like, because I think back to my NLP course. I don't have the book anymore, but it was this thick book and it did talk about eye accessing and unconscious mind. And like, that stuff's irrelevant. Like, how would I teach this? And lo and behold, a year and a half later, like I literally started the training program because I had somebody like Rhonda Ryder, if you might know her, and a couple other people were like literally banging on my door. When are you going to train this? When are you going to train this? Like, I don't even know how I'm going to train this. So literally it was 2021. I had just started my vibrational mastery group coaching program where it was just fun community. I would do hot seat calibrations. And again, people were like, when are you going to train this? So in March, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to train it, but let's give it a shot. I launched this pilot program. I said, there's room for 10 people. And within a day, within 24 hours, 10 people signed up. And I said, I don't know what I'm doing, guys. There's no contract. You can leave next month if you don't want to do it. And like, they just kept more and more. And it was this co-creation between me and these initial 10 people that created the program. 3 months later, another 12 people joined and it grew and it just kept flowing. I'm like, oh my God, I know how to train this. And how I train this is in the moment as you guys are summoning. I know what I know, but I don't just knowledge dump on you. This is about in the moment creation. This process evolves continually. How I train it now and what it is now is even far beyond the evolution of where it was when I started. It's like the funnest thing. It's this living, breathing creature, this process, and the program itself is this living, breathing creature that continues to expand and become more and more and more of itself. It's just delightful. So yes. So there's that. Awesome. Anybody have any questions or parting words that they want to share before we head out for the rest of the day? Thank you so much, Anna. That was like phenomenal. You're beautiful. Like it's right there for you. You're in it. You're in it.
No, thank you very much. This was, I don't know, mind-blowing experience. I really appreciate what you did.
It was perfection. All right, you guys.
Thank you everyone for coming out. Yeah, and the recording will be posted in the Facebook group and I'll also be sending out an email too.
All right.
Thank you. See you, everyone.
Bye. Bye.